Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday again, April 12th, 9:02 a.m. And again, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate that you guys take time first thing of the week to join me and to learn more about what's going on out there in the world of health insurance. So today's call will probably be a little bit shorter, but I do have some information I want to share with everyone and a couple of updates, of course. So first things first, let's jump into training. So this week in our training sessions, we've got a little bit of a lighter week, but as I always say, you got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. So today, the only training on the calendar is Devoted's broker coffee and chat session. That is today at 11 a.m. It is geared for the Orlando market, but again, anyone that would like to call in that sells Devoted or is interested in learning more about Devoted Health, please go ahead and call in at 11. It's very informative, and you can get a lot of questions and answers, answers for your questions, rather. And also think about it as a way to strategize with Devoted. They have been exceptionally supportive recently, so anything you need from Devoted, whether it's opportunities or kits or marketing materials, they're there to help. So again, that's today at 11 o'clock. Moving on to tomorrow, the 13th, we have Humana doing their LIS training. And this LIS training is a generic training, but remember, guys, we are in lock-in right now. And something to keep in mind is, this is going to be, one of the first lock-ins where we know and we're obviously prepared for working remotely. But knowing and understanding LIS is going to be exceptionally important for your success from now until the end of the year. And again, I've based my career on helping those in need, especially those with low incomes, and LIS is a phenomenal program to know and understand, but also know that there are changes that happen every year, maybe even 2-3 times a year in the levels and how that works. I always learn something new, and LIS is one of those moving targets. So please make sure you understand how LIS works. Humana is going to be teaching that and how LIS works with the Humana plans and which plans work best with those folks that have LIS. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Also tomorrow at noon, Humana is still doing their Facebook trainings. If you haven't started marketing on Facebook, shame, I know your name. Facebook is one of the fastest growing, still the fastest growing demographic on Facebook is seniors. But Facebook is obviously inundated with marketing, but how you use Facebook is important. Not that you're there or you're not there. How you use Facebook is very important. And Humana teaches a great class on that, especially if you're just getting started. They do already have some Facebook marketing, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Humana has Facebook marketing pieces already pre-created and pre-approved for you to use. However, you can't access those until you do one of these trainings. So please make sure that you get on those trainings. If you're thinking about doing online advertising, Facebook is the way to start. So that's at noon today, Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday, Simply is doing a face-to-face class. For those new to Simply, please join that class. That is Wednesday the 14th at 10 a.m. Although anyone that is a little rusty on Simply is more than welcome to join. If you haven't sold Simply in a while, this would be a great class for you guys to be in, and that's at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, Bright Health Individual and Family Plans, the ACA portion, is doing a one-on-one session at 11 o'clock. You can register on our training calendar. Again, that is on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. On Wednesday also at noon, Humana is doing another training session for their Go 365, how you can attract and retain members. Okay, any way that I can learn how to attract and retain members, I am all for it. So that is that Wednesday at noon. And then also on Wednesday, Humana is doing another training session for their state and federal benefits for prospects. And we talked about this a little bit in the beginning of this month and last month about benefits checkup. I've done videos. If you haven't seen my video, go back on YouTube and you can find it where we talk about benefits checkup. Just open up the description and you'll find it there. But the benefits checkup is an amazing tool for you to help those in need, but it also will generate referrals like you wouldn't believe. Just mastering that piece of it, if I was going to make a recommendation to any of you that are looking for more business right now, that want to grow your book of business, that want to increase your income, start here. Look at how you can help people in your community. Okay, that's why we're here, okay? So that's the state and federal benefits that you can market to your prospects, and that is at noon on Wednesday. And then Thursday, another devoted and coffee and chat session at 11:30. Again, that is for all things devoted. If you have questions, please jump in Thursday at 11:30. Geared towards Jacksonville, but again, anyone is welcome. And then last training for the week on Thursday at 2 o'clock, you've got another training with Humana on how to attract and retain clients using Go 365. So that's the training for the week. Please keep in mind, if you have any ideas, suggestions, or trainings that you would like to see on our calendar, please send me an email, text, flare gun, whatever works for you. Just let us know what you'd like to see. We do these trainings for you, and all of these trainings are available weekly. However, now that we're going into the slower season, I do recommend that you jump in and do a little bit more training as things start to slow down, so you can, things slow down, but your education speeds up. So just keep that in mind. All right. So we are coming back with a contest here, and this is specifically rolling out to those agents that are writing Freedom Healthcare. So we are going to do a gas card, $25 gas card for each and every Freedom application that is coming through the door. Please keep in mind, it must be reported. Everyone should know how to do that Medicare app report by now. If you don't, please get with a team member. We revamped it. It's very clean and easy to use. So as you can see here, you just jump in here and plug in your apps so you can track it. It goes right into the CRM system for you, and that automation kicks off and starts for you. But the Freedom gas card is rolling out. We're going to do that Wawa card, $25. So I know not every member needs to get a gas, or that you're driving around to them, but that gas card still comes in handy, especially since gas prices are soaring right now. They're getting back up almost to $3. But this could help with your marketing. So if you're out there doing events, if you're out there visiting your doctors, which you all should be, if you're out there driving around pounding the pavement, this is a reimbursement to help you with your gas cost. So bring home those Freedom apps, and we are sponsoring that $25 gas card for you. Again, just report those sales. That's all you got to do. Put it in the report, and you're good to go. Okay, speaking about events, this is really important. I do know that many of you are out there doing tabletops, food pantries. You're at doctor's offices. You are doing health fairs. Wherever you are in the world, and you're doing these tabletops and you're collecting consented contacts, and everybody should be doing that and following up with your consented contacts. I know we all get busy. I know you might forget, or you might not be the best on getting back in front of these members on the phone. So moving forward, if you have any leads, if you have any consented contacts, if you have a list of people that you talk to at a food pantry, maybe you have 10, 15 people, put those in a spreadsheet and send it to Jonathan, and we will call them and set up appointments for you. We will set them up and call them and get the appointments for you. So that should shave off a lot of time, a lot of phone calls, a lot of busy work, if you will, where you could be working on other things and working on more prospects. So if you're out there and you're collecting consented contacts, and I know I've been there, maybe you got a lead and you chased it down, and the other 9 or 10 you left in your car, or they're sitting on your desk at home, and you're like, I'm going to call them, and you just never got around to it. Don't burn those leads. Those are hard-earned leads for both you and a lot of these events that we are sponsoring. These carriers want to see return on investment. So we want to maximize that for you and obviously maximize your success. So if you have any prospects, if you have any leads, even if they're a couple weeks old, maybe even a month old, that you just didn't get around to call, if you want to dump them off to us, we will be happy to create a campaign where we can call these folks for you. and set the appointments and get you back in front of these people. So, it's a win-win-win. We only win if you win. So that's really where we're at. So just keep that in mind when you're out there on the events. Collect those consented contacts. And when you're having these conversations with people that come up to your table, maybe we've talked about interest, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But as you're talking to them, to say, as a follow-up, I'm going to, either myself or someone from my office is going to follow up with you to see if we can answer some more questions and get you some more help. And that's really what it's all about, right? So any loose leads that you have, anything that you've got missing out there that you need a little bit of help with, I am more than happy to attack and get our folks back in front of them so we can set appointments for you. Even if it's virtual or if it's, whatever the case might be, please make sure that, that you get that done, okay? All right, so that's pretty much my rant today. I do have a video I'd like to share with you guys, and this is, again, I'm on a little bit of a tip with Jeff Shore. I think that he does a great job with his sales trainings and his videos here. So I want to share with you a video about 5 things top sales pros do. It's 5 minutes, but I think I took a lot of value out of this. And then after this, I'm going to share with you one of the tools that we have available for marketing that I hope you guys take advantage of as well. So here we go.
So, you want to be a top performer, that mystical superstar with the flashy wheels and the Italian shoes. What's it going to take? Well, for one thing, it's going to take not being delusional. Hey, let's talk about top performers. They're oftentimes misunderstood, but listen, they're not gods and goddesses. They are just people who do things differently. Yeah, they're great at what they do. They are. But they don't have a corner on the market of greatness. You have it in you to soar to high levels. You can be a superstar. But look, if you want to rise to that level, if you want to perform at the level of the superstars, you have to do the things that superstars do. Makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so what do those top performers do? Well, the first thing they do is they maximize their conversations. They take every sales conversation as far as it will possibly go. And by that I mean to the closing question. Top performers are not content to simply just get through a sales conversation. It's not just another customer, another up in the day. No. There's an agenda. There's a purpose. And in their conversation, they want that to lead to a closing question. So here's a suggestion for you. You could get into this habit right away. As soon as that customer leaves, if they have not purchased, stop and ask yourself the question, did I take that conversation as far as it could go? Did I maximize the conversation? This is a great mental discipline for you. Before you go back to your last email or your paperwork or whatever it is, stop and ask yourself the question, did I take that conversation as far as it would possibly go? That's the first thing that top performers do. Now, the second thing that top performers do is that they oversolve problems. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You're in sales, so you're a problem solver. It is what you do, right? But I'm going to suggest that you need to be a super problem solver. Now, how do we do that? Solve more than the problem. Oversolve the problem. We need to understand the problem behind the problem. You see, there are conscious problems that our customers bring up, but there are also non-conscious problems. Those are things that they should be aware of, and they're not yet. So what do? I come in and I offer a solution and say, one of the things you're going to want to be thinking about is this. And the good news is we've got that covered. We want our customer to know that we are thinking about things that they are not even thinking about. The third thing that top performers do is that they gain agreements throughout the process. It's not just about the one yes at the end. It's about a series of yeses all the way through the conversation.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I want to suggest to you that the entirety of the sales conversation is filled with opportunities for yeses. It's filled with opportunities to be able to gain agreements. And this is so important because the yes isn't about you, it's about them. I'm not asking a question. I'm not getting them to agree with me. I'm getting them to agree with themselves because it's so much easier to buy if I've got this cadence, this series of yeses throughout the process. The fourth thing that top performers do is that they simply talk to more people. They talk to more people. Look, this is a numbers game. Let's listen to what the late, great Jim Rohn had to say about it.
I make up in numbers what I lack in skill.
The question is, are you seeking to talk to more people, or are you content just to talk to the people who come to you? Top performers go out of their way to initiate those conversations. They find more people to talk to. And then finally, number 5, top performers get better all the time. You see, top performers don't just want to be on top, they want to stay on top. Yes, they may be the best, but they want to stay the best. And there's only one way to do that. It takes hard work. If you want to be a top performer, you've got to commit to being better all the time. It's not about getting to the top, it's staying on top. Look, when I look at top performers, what do I see? Are they people who are luckier? Are they smarter? Look, they're talented people, they are. But more than anything else, they do the things that other people will not do in order to get results that other people will not get. Do you want to be a top performer? Don't tell me, show me. All right, there you have it, another episode of the 5-Minute Sales Training. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you want to post me a link to the 5-Minute Sales Training on your social media pages to get the word out more and more. Until next time, learn more to earn more.
There you go, guys. And again, you know, if you feel like you really like what he's saying, Jeff Shores is really great at marketing and sales tactics, of course. So, you know, spend the time, go on YouTube, watch a video a day, you know, it helps me, and I've got all sorts of different resources as well. But sales is what we're in. Although we're geared to help people, just remember that we are, you know, in the sales game. So a lot of these techniques do help us out when we're finally in front of folks. But the one thing I took from the video is you've got to go out there and find more people. If you're just sitting there waiting for your phone to ring or hoping for your phone to ring, just remember that hope is not a strategy. You've got to make some action happen. So you want to increase your numbers from 5 to 10, from 10 to 20, or from 1 to 5. It doesn't matter where you are in your career right now. Those little moves, those little actions, that's where you start to see the wheels move and things start to happen. But it's about consistency. He talks about that too. But you got to do the things that no one else is willing to do. And that means filling your day with activity. Okay? Now, with that said, I want to show you what we have in your Humana portal. And everyone that is currently writing Humana has access to the Marketing Resource Center. And I can guarantee you that probably 90% of the people on this call have never even been into this Marketing Resource Center. And over the last 12 months or so, Humana has revamped this entire thing, and it is unbelievably awesome on what they've done. So I'm going to show you a quick little tidbit. When you log into your Humana page, I'm going to walk you through that. So all you do is you go up to your sign-in here. You log in. Hopefully you know your username and password. And then once you're into your Vantage portal, it's going to pop up retail. That's where we live. And then on the left side, you're going to see sales and marketing, the Marketing Resource Center here on the left. Just click that and it'll pop open a new window. In that window, you're going to have the Marketing Resource Center. And so just as a reminder, the Marketing Resource Center is all pre-approved marketing, trainings, events, and materials that you can use to promote not only Humana, but yourself. Okay, now look, right here, expanded generic campaigns. So they have a header right in the front. These are all generic pieces that you can use today, okay? Those of you that are out there working with veterans, here's an event poster. They have BRCs and mailer campaigns that are generic for both DSNP and for T65. Educational seminar presentation in Spanish, Vietnamese, English, Korean. All of these presentations are educational in nature. Here's an SEP, unbranded. Are you carrying these cards? So let's open up this one. If we open up this card, this is all the SEPs, and this is a beautifully designed flyer. Okay, so this is a flyer. However, if you scroll down, you've got different versions of the same thing here. So you've got the flyer, obviously, but here's a poster. It's already pre-created as a poster. Here's an ad for a newspaper, but here's a postcard. So if you wanted to invest in a postcard, ba-boom, there it is. So there's the postcard, there's the front, and you can go ahead and print it out there. Okay, so you can preview this. So let's go ahead and select this postcard here. I'm going to show you how easy I'm doing this. Okay, so we go ahead and now you have an option at the bottom here. It's going to ask you, do you want to mail your list, or do you want to send to a list of consumer prospects that Humana has in their system? I'm going to tell you right now, do not select this option. You're going to want your own list. Okay, we have done several mailers, and the list quality at Humana at this point, wherever they're getting their list from, is no good. We are getting a lot of return mail. It is not good to use their list. So if you need a list service, perhaps, talk to us and we'll see what we can do. We do have lists in several areas, and we're happy to get those lists for you. Or if you, again, those event lists, all those prospects that you've been prospecting and you haven't been able to close, there you go. You can go ahead and load this list up, and you know, you can have a mailer out in the mail. So here it is. So we're going to start here, and maybe we want to change this image here. So right now, you've got a lady here. She looks like she's on a medicine ball or something like that. But let's say you want to change it. Change the image to maybe this couple that's dancing here. Okay, so we're going to select that. We're going to select the appropriate label. So here, here in Florida, we call it Medicaid. If you're out in California, you're going to call it Medi-Cal. You can click that. 10-care is also called Medicaid in Tennessee. So let's go ahead and click Medicaid. This is for, let's say this is for a Florida piece. So it automatically pulls a picture of the Medicaid card. So if I selected Georgia, for instance, you see it switched to the Georgia Medicaid card. Okay, so very easily you just select your state and it switches out the actual picture of the Medicaid card in that area. Then let's say if you have a place that you go to, you have an office or you have a consistent location, this would be a great select piece here. Or maybe you're doing an event, you can go ahead and select the event information here. Maybe you just want them to call you. That's fine too. If you want to have a photo included, which I do highly recommend that you have a photo of yourself as an agent. Here's me. You just load in the photo there. They'll tell you how to do that. You can change that photo. You can remove it. Before you do that, you're going to have to go up into your account information, and you're going to go over to your asset library. You click there, and you can upload your pictures. And if you have your own logo, you can use that too. So for this instance, I'm using my picture. I'm using my name. If you want to put your license number, you can. California does require it to put your license number. You don't have to do that. Here's my phone number. It already pre-populated because of the profile that I currently have. If you have a separate phone number for Spanish speakers, you can put that separate phone number here. Here's your hours of operation. Here's my email. Here's my website. And if I wanted to put my Facebook page, I can put the Facebook page right there as well. So we were helping Gail with the mailer, so we have her logo here. But again, you can change that out. You can, replace it. Let's say I'm using HPM there, and then here's the return address, right? So before we click next steps, what it's going to do is it's going to pop up and say you got to approve the customizations. And so you got to scroll back up, and you have to click the profile, the actual piece, and all those changes that we made to it, it's going to automatically make those changes for you. Now remember, this piece is completely customizable. It is automatically approved, and it's ready for you to download as soon as you approve it. Now, if you're doing special projects like newspaper inserts, or maybe you're in a community and you want to get these things passed out, that's fine too. Or if you want to do a mailer project, talk to us and we'll see what we can do to help you out with that. Now, let's take a look at the changes. First and obvious is it changed the picture here. So now we have the dancing couple here. You can see the logo was exchanged, so they popped in the logo there. We're using Medicaid. Remember, that was the acronym that they wanted to use versus 10Care or something like that. This piece is launching for Georgia, so I have the Medicare card, but I also have the Georgia Medicaid card, okay? And then also we've got all the information here, and again, this is generic. As you can see, this is not a Humana piece. It's generic. You flip over the back side, you see it's automatically loaded my picture here, my information, my contact information, so I'm ready to go. And then there's that logo. If you want to use a logo, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But it does say Humana here. That's something that is not there, you know, in the changeable features, but it is there as a disclaimer. So you've got the disclaimers here. Everything is pre-approved. So if you like your customizations, you just come here at the bottom. You click, I approve my customizations. You can print this sample if you want. So for instance, if you're like, hey, I've got this idea and I've already created the piece, print it out, show it to us. We'd be glad to do that, or take it to a carrier. All of that's done. But once you click done, it's approved. Now we can go ahead and click the next steps. All right. Now, as I said before, you can just send this to yourself. I don't know why you would want to do that. Select an existing list. So maybe you've already loaded a list before. But they have their own list services. Again, I would steer clear of this because the quality of their lists are not that great. This is where you want to live. You want to upload a list. Again, talk to us. All you have to do, it's an Excel sheet. We'll be happy to walk you through that if you need it. It's very easy to do. You just choose which file you're going to do and upload the list. So once you do that, let's just say, for instance, I'm just sending it to myself so I can show it to you. So there you go. You hit save. And then we hit next. Okay, and then there we go. So you've got your order name. You can change the name of the order if you want to keep it organized. It's going to email you a confirmation. You can copy somebody else in there, and then you click Add to Cart, and you're good to go. Okay. So this particular piece, it's going to post up a price. So it's 62 cents for this particular postcard design. All of that is there. So depending on, you know, if you've got 1,000-piece mailer that you're shooting out, obviously that's going to cost $620 to do this particular mailer. So, you know, one thing I will let you guys know is you're more than welcome to create these pieces. You are ready to go with marketing, and you can invest in yourself and invest in your marketing to get these sales up and running. If you have an idea, if you have a thought, if you go through all of these different campaigns and you need help with it, let us know. Again, it's going to be based on production. As long as you've got sales coming in and things are working for you, we're happy to help sponsor or find a sponsor to help you with these types of projects. But one thing we didn't go through is if you have events, you know, all of these events that you are doing out in the community, if you want to promote your events, you can do that promotion right here in this piece. It's so easy to do. You saw how easy I got it done. I got it done in less than 10 minutes, and you have a viable marketing piece that is already pre-approved, ready to go. And you know, once you upload that list and you click checkout, you pay for the piece, it is done. And within, I would say, probably 72 hours, Humana's mail house is putting these things in the mail. I can tell you that they do it. We have seen multiple campaigns where they've done it. The one caveat for your success I would absolutely make sure of is that you are using your own list, however you're getting that list, whether it's old prospects, your customers. If you want to purchase a list, you can do that. We're glad to guide you on how to do that as well. But I would not use the built-in Humana pieces, or a list rather. It's just not worth it. You're not going to get any return on that. So there it is. That's what I wanted to share with you guys again. Today, that is the end of the call. So what I'm going to do is open it up. If you have any questions, now is the time. I'm glad.
Thanks.
All right. Any questions this morning?
I had a question, but I just forgot it.
Okay, guys. If there's no questions, we'll go ahead and end the call there. Very much appreciate everyone being on the call today. If you have any questions, please let us know. You know where to find us. And we hope you have a fantastic week. Keep it productive and let us know how we can help you be successful out there.